Hello, my name's Molly and I'm a Technocamps delivery officer. So one thing I've noticed while we've all been self-isolating is that everyone seems to be doing their own home workouts, and that's me included. And what I found really annoying and irritating was that I can't find anything that will serve as a suitable workout timer for the type of workouts that I'm doing at home. So I'm choosing to do HIIT sessions, so they're high intensity interval training sessions, which means that we have a workout followed by an interval, followed by a workout, followed by an interval, etc. I'm finding a platform that will allow me to time this time that I'm working out and the time that I'm taking a break is really difficult. So I thought, how am I going to solve that problem? That I could create my own program in Scratch to do that job for me. And that's what I'm here to show you today, is how easy it can be for you to create your own program in an online free to use resource such as Scratch to solve some of your day-to-day dilemmas. The first thing we need to do is we need to open Scratch. Scratch is a block-based coding editor or programming editor that you can use to write computer programs, to create stories, animations, games, whatever you like. And it has lots of applications, including what we're going to use it for today, which is to create a workout timer. So we can just type Scratch into our search engine of choice, and we click into this first line here, Scratch, and click on Create, and we can start creating our program. So if you're watching this video having seen a link to creating a workout timer on social media, that's fantastic, and welcome to Technocamps. You may also be watching this video as a follow-up to the variables pack in the Introduction to Programming Principles activity pack that's online on the Technocamps website. So for those of you who aren't familiar with these resources, I can show them to you right now. So we'll just type in Technocamps into our browser and click on the Technocamps homepage. And if we go into the menu, we can see something called activity packs, and click in there and you'll see that there are lots of activity packs starting here. So loads of activity packs for you to choose from that you can work your way through while you are not in school and over the half-term period. And you can try these out, so you can work your way through the workbooks, watch the videos, and you can attempt the quizzes that are associated with all the packs and get your name onto this leaderboard here. So directly linked to the video that I'm going to show you right now is the Introduction to Programming Principles activity pack. So you can just click into this one. And you can see that there are some videos, workbooks and quizzes associated with some fundamental principles of programming across block-based editors. And we are currently looking at the creating and using variables section of this. So if you haven't done so already, take some time to go onto the Technocamps website and check out all these activity packs that the team have been putting together for you to work through. So back to our workout timers. So the first thing we need is an event block. And this kind of event block triggers the program to start. So we're going to use this when green flag clicked event block, and I'll just zoom into that so you can see it a little bit better. So we're going to start our program with this when green flag clicked block. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to create a variable. So you'll see a category of instruction blocks here called variables, and I'm going to make a variable, and I'm going to call it timer, because that's what we want to do, isn't it? We want to create something that's going to time us during our workouts and during our intervals. So I'm going to create a new variable name here, timer. Okay. So you can see that my new variable has appeared in the list here, and it's also appeared in my Scratch stage. So if I was creating a story or an animation, this is where my story animation would be displayed in the stage here, and we can see my variable here. Okay, so when we are timing ourselves doing anything or starting a stopwatch or anything, we want our stopwatch or timer to start at 0. And you can see in our variable category of instruction blocks, we have something which says set my variable to 0. So I'm going to drag that into my program because that's quite important. So it says when green flag is clicked, it's going to set my variable to 0. But of course, we don't want it to say my variable, we want to use the variable that we've just created. So if I click this drop down menu, we can see the timer variable that I've just created in the list. So I'm going to select that one. Great, so when I click the green flag, it's going to set my timer to 0. Okay, so what do I want it to be doing? Well, my timer is going to act like a counter. So we want it to count the time that it's taking us to do the workout or to take the break. And I'm just going to show you quickly what my workout consists of. So I'm going to have 8 workouts, so 8 different activities. And I'm going to spend 20 seconds on each activity or workout with a 10-second interval between each one. And I'm going to repeat this process 4 times. Okay, so let's just concentrate on, first of all, on getting our program to time the 20-second workouts. Okay, so let's return to Scratch. So we want our timer to be changing by 1. Okay, so we'll say change, and remember to change it to timer by 1. How many times do we want it to change the timer by 1? Let's return back to our workout schedule, and we can see that we want it to be timing us for 20 seconds, which means that we want the timer to change by 1 up to 20. So we want it to change by 1 20 times. Okay, so let's go back into Scratch. So let's find in here something called a repeat block. So a repeat block, we're going to find it in control. And we can see here that we've got a block which says repeat 10 blank space. So let's drag that into our program here for now. So we want that repeat block to go around our change timer by 1 because we want it to change the timer by 1 20 times. So let's change this number in here to 20. So let's just recap here what we're saying. So we're saying that when we press the green flag, we set our timer to 0 because we haven't started our workout yet. And it's going to then repeat 20 times a change timer by 1. So this number in the stage screen here is going to change by 1 20 times. So let's give it a go. When we click the green flag, let's see what happens. So we click it, and we can see that this number of our timer variable changed to 20 almost immediately. We didn't see a 1 by 1 change of this variable. That's because the computer program executed this set of instructions 20 times in that very short amount of time. But this isn't very good for what we want, is it? Because we don't just want our program to count to 20, we want it to time us in seconds. So in order to do this, we need to add an extra block into this repeat 20 block. So what we need to do is we need to go into control, and at the top here, can you see this wait 1 second block? If we drag that into our program, what this block does is it forces the program to wait for a set number of seconds, and you can change this number here. If we drag that into this repeat 20 times block, we are saying that whenever we are asking the program to, whenever it adds 1 to our count variable, our timer variable here, it will wait 1 second. This means that a change of 1 in our timer variable becomes equivalent to a change of 1 second. And if we repeat this set of instructions 20 times, then it should last 20 seconds. So let's try that again. And you can see here that instead of the timer number changing to 20 immediately, it's actually taking 20 seconds to count up to 20, which is perfect and exactly what we want for our program. So we have 20 seconds per workout, and that's exactly what my Scratch program is doing now. It's timing, so it's counting me up to 20 seconds. But now we want it to be doing that. We want it to be doing that 8 times, okay? Because we have 8 workouts and we have 20 seconds on each workout. So how are we going to do that? Well, we need now to add another repeat block. Okay, so we drag in a second repeat block, and that repeat block is going to go around our repeat 20. And that number now is going to change to 8. Okay, so what this program is saying now is that when we press the green flag, it's going to set our timer to 0, and then it's going to count us up to 20, and that count is going to be equal to 20 seconds, and it's going to repeat that process 8 times, so for the 8 workouts that we need to do. Okay, but what do we want it to do between our workouts? I want some kind of a signal, because I'm not always looking at my phone or looking at my computer. I want it to tell me when I need to change my workout by using some kind of noise signal. So to do that, I'm just going to go into the Sounds tab up here, click on that, and then I'm going to click on the plus, choose a sound down here on the left hand side. And here I can choose from a wide range of sounds, but I'm going to go into sports and I'm going to use a referee's whistle. Okay, and then I go back into the code by clicking on this code tab, and I'm going to add in a sound block. So you'll find that in the sounds category, and we're going to use this play sound referee's whistle. And that block is going to go underneath the repeat 20 block. Okay, so inside there. So I'll just minimize this a little bit so you can see it better. So what it's saying now is that when the green flag is clicked, it's going to set my timer to 0, and then it's going to count me or change the timer value by 1 up to 20 because it's going to repeat that 20 times. And in between each change of timer value, it's going to wait 1 second. So this means that it's going to count up to 20 in 20 seconds. And at the end of that process, so at the end of that repeat 20 process, it's going to play a sound of a referee's whistle before restarting and repeating this process 8 times. So let's try that. So hopefully when this timer value here reaches 20, we should hear the sound of a referee's whistle. Great. So that would mean that if I was conducting one workout and when I click the green flag, then I would know that now was my time to change to another workout. But is it though? Let's look back at my workout regime. And what I've said here is that I'm going to do 8 workouts of 20 seconds each. And in between each of these 20-second workouts, I'm going to take a 10-second break or a 10-second interval. So I need to add this interval into my program. I could do this simply by adding another weight block. So I'm going to go into the control category of instruction blocks and drag in another weight block. That weight block is going to be placed directly underneath the play sound referee whistle, because this referee whistle sound tells me that I've reached the end of my workout duration, and so now is the time where I want to go straight into my interval, which is going to last 10 seconds. So we're going to change this number to 10. So what my program is saying now is that when the green flag is clicked, my timer variable is going to be set to 0. Then it's going to change my timer variable by 1 up to 20 because it's in a repeat 20 times loop. And at the end of that count, which will take 20 seconds to complete because of this wait 1 second block, my program is going to play the sound of a referee's whistle to let me know that my 20 seconds of workout is over. And following that, my program will wait 10 seconds before starting the next instruction. But at the end of this 10-second wait, which represents my interval, I need something to tell me that my interval is over and therefore it's time to start the next workout. So in order to do this, let's add another sound. So we'll go into the sound category of instruction blocks again and drag in another play sound block, which will fit underneath that weight block. And I think it would be nice if we chose a different sound so that one sound is associated with the end of a workout and another sound is associated with the end of an interval. So I'm going to go into my sounds library again, and this time I'm going to choose sport again and a cheer. So that's going to cheer us on for the next workout. And remember to change it in the drop-down menu here. So we go to cheer. So let's try this now. So I'm going to go up here and press the green flag. So when I reach 20 on my timer variable here, I should hear the referee's whistle. And at the end of the 10 seconds, I should hear the cheer. So that seems to be working quite nicely. An alternative method to add in the interval would be to create a second variable. So we'll do that the same as we created the first. So we go into the variables category, click on make a variable and call this one interval. And then we click on OK. And what we could do is, instead of having this wait 10 seconds, we could just remove that. We could say that when the referee whistle sound comes on, then we know that we're at the end of our workout duration. So then we can say set our interval to 0 and change the interval value by 1. And again, as we did with our timer, we need to make that realistic to some time, which would be 1 second again. So we would say that once the referee whistle sound comes on, we set our interval time to 0 because our interval is just about to start. We change the interval time by 1, or we change the count at this point by 1, and make that realistic to some time by adding this wait 1 second. So it forces the program to wait 1 second each time the value of the interval variable is changed by 1. And according to my workout regime, I want to be having a 10-second interval. So if I go back into Scratch, then I'm going to need another repeat block, and I'm going to surround my change interval by 1 and wait 1 second blocks by repeat 10 times block. Okay. And then at the end of that, I want it to play my cheer sound. So let's give that one a go. So we'll press on the green flag and we can see that my workout timer has started. So when that workout timer hits 20, we should hear our referee whistle. And you can see that once that referee whistle sound came on, the interval timer started, and that should take us up to 10. And that's our cue then to start the next workout. And you can see that the timer is changing again. Okay, so we're nearly happy with this program now to time our workouts, but there are a couple of things that we need to change. So you'll notice that when we click on this green flag button, our timer kicks in, which is fantastic. It's counting us up to 20, and that's exactly what we want it to do. But when it reaches 20, it stops so that the interval timer will kicks in. But notice what happens after the interval timer reaches 10 and we restart our workout timer. We add onto our 20 again. And this is fine. You might want to keep it that way so that you know at the end of your workout how many seconds you spent doing exercise. But if you'd rather that the program restarted the timer from 0 to 20, so if you'd rather that the program restarted the timer each time, it's a simple case of moving this set timer to 0 block inside this repeat 8 times block. So let's try that. So if we click on the green flag again, we should see it count us up to 20. Our interval started. Our interval coming to an end, and then our timer starting again. So you'll see that it started from 0 and it's going to count us up to 20 again. So another thing to note is that when I press this green flag, I just stopped it really quickly there. The timer starts straight away, but the interval is set at 10. So something that we can just change to make sure that that starts at 0 is that when we hit the green flag, we set our interval to 0 and we set our timer to 0. So let's try that. So both will start at 0. Okay, so we're nearly there now. We have, when we click the green flag, the program sets our interval timer to 0 and it sets our workout timer to 0. And it repeats 20 times a count up to 20, which is equivalent to 20 seconds, which is our workout duration. At the end of that 20-second workout duration, it makes a referee's whistle sound. That then kicks in our interval timer, which counts up to 10, taking 10 seconds to do so. And it repeats that 10 times, so it's a change of 1, 10 times, taking 10 seconds. And then at the end of that, it plays a cheer sound. And all the while, it's going to repeat that process 8 times. Because again, if we just look back at our workout regimes, we have 8 workouts. The last thing to do though is to address this repeat 4 times part of my workout regime. So essentially, I've got 8 workouts that I'm repeating 4 times. So simply to complete our code, I'm going to go into controls, I'm going to add in another repeat block, and I'm going to put all of those instructions that I've written inside that repeat block, and I'm going to change that to 4. Okay, so now I'm really happy with my program. I've tried it out and I've even added some aesthetics to my program, which you can see in my stage here. I've got a field background and you can see that when I click the green flag and my workout starts, my scratch cat starts moving to represent us working out. And then when we reach the interval period, you'll see that he stops moving. So that's quite cool. So why don't you give it a try now? You can tailor the program we've written together to your own workout, as I demonstrate in the next image that appears on the screen. And as I said in the introduction to this video, take some time to check out the activity packs on the Technocamps website. There's loads of them to choose from, and they're really interesting, fun, and you'll learn lots about computer programming as you do them. In the meantime, enjoy your workouts and enjoy programming.